Hey guys, it's Summing Rush. Today we're going to be doing a live gameplay in the BatChat 25T AP. This should be a good map. I mean, we're on Prokhorovka, it's a standard game, and really, I'm more worried about my teammates than the enemies currently. I've had, 4 good games in a row, but every single time I have a good game, I seem to get team killed by, a 183 or something. So, yeah, hopefully I don't get team killed. Basically, I'm just going to show you how this vehicle plays. Naturally, I said we're on the map Prokhorovka. What I like to do on this map is typically going to be to take the center of the map. That's going to allow you to spot the people who cross that road right there. So that's going to be how I'm thinking at the beginning of this game. I'm probably just going to clip out maybe 4 tanks or so. I'm going to take 4 shots. By then, I'll probably be lit, and I'm going to have to try to find something to do after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reverse like this. That's going to allow me to escape if I get lit very quickly. And I'm just going to sort of chill right here. I need to be careful. I don't want to get lit. There is an M103 now. If we had Artie, the Artie would probably be picking this guy apart, but we don't have Artie, so I can actually just put shots into this dude pretty easily. I don't think... Oh, I guess I am lit. Okay. So I'm just going to have to pull out. A lot of people have trouble with autoloaders, and that's because they're very aggressive in them. Autoloaders, unfortunately, are a bit more of a campy playstyle. Because of the fact that autoloaders typically have no armor, you're going to need to pretend you're a one-shot pretty much all the time. So you can see I got lit. I'm not really going to risk getting hit because if I make a mistake, if I'm taking hits at the beginning of the game and then I make a mistake later in the game, I'll be dead. So you just have to keep that in mind. So I'm falling back. That's because we have no heavies in the middle. You can see we have a T-30 who's coming up there, but he's taking his time. So I'm just going to snipe for a bit. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to get up to the hill and then I'm going to put side shots into this area, into the middle. So that's actually probably going to be the best thing. One thing I would like to talk about with this vehicle is the fact that it has a very low ammo capacity, and the AP pen is decent, but it's not good for tier 10s. So what I do is I carry 18 APCR, and that's typically only going to be used in tier 10 games unless I run out of AP. And really, that's pretty likely. I mean, this thing only carries 30 shells, so I carry 2 clips of AP, 3 clips of APCR. That's simply because with the APCR, you cannot pen the sides of many tier 10 heavies. Like, I'm thinking the IS-7 is very difficult to pen. Same with the, what's it called? Just let me get a shot here. The E100, it's very difficult to pen the rear of that tank, even with the AP rounds. So keep that in mind. I mean, this thing's solid, especially in tier 9 games. It's a very powerful gun. It's a very powerful vehicle. I just think that the AP pen is very lackluster the second you start to get into tier 10. However, you're going to have no trouble penning basically every tier 9 tank in the game. Alright, so right now I'm thinking of going after this ST1. I'm noticing they have totally abandoned the hill. Our whole team's in the middle of the map. Now, I think it's very likely they've probably got a 704 and a T54 camping on the one line. As far as what else is lit, there isn't really anything... this is a very peculiar setup that they've taken. My goal as an autoloader is going to be to try to exploit that, though. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to push up here. Now, I do have to be aware that there might be a 704 back here. So I'm just going to keep that in mind as I push through. I'm also going to want to look out for their BatChat 25 AP, simply because I don't want to get clipped out by him. You can see I am spotted. Hopefully he doesn't get the first shot off. We will see. It could have just been me getting proxy lit by someone over there, though. Alright, so one thing you're going to want to notice is I am alone, and that's going to be problematic for myself because it's going to be an even footing against this BatChat AP. Looks like he's coming after me, but really I think this type and etc. should be able to deal with him. Alright, so right now I'm behind the enemy. This is exactly what you're going to want to be doing in an autoloader tank such as this one. I'm just going to look for shots on the ST1 and hopefully we can finish him off. Hopefully the RHM gets lit too. There he is, perfect. So I'm going to get the kill shot on the RHM. Since I got lit, I'm going to fall back because... There you go. There's the object 704. I am correct, he is back there. I didn't think he would have been able to render me though, so that is actually interesting. I'm going to just finish off this ST1 here, and then I'm going to clip, and I'm going to wait for my teammates to spot any of the enemy tanks who are over here. Alright, so as you can see, immediately I took 2 hits, and I'm down to 600 hit points. I'm a one-shot for their 704. That's pretty much the life of autoloaders, so if you get hit in a tank like this, you become a one-shot, and it's very easy to, your mistakes are punished very difficult in a vehicle like this, so you're going to want to keep that in mind. Right now I'm going to focus on just sort of sniping. I'm going to want to help my team secure this battle. Even though we are up on tanks, they will be in camo positions, so a lot of them have full HP, so for example the 704, and I'm going to want to make sure my team win this, and I'm just going to try to live and play it safe, etc, etc. So this is a T-49. Honestly, the T-49 isn't the biggest threat in the world. I did probably put a shot into him. Because of this vehicle's low ammo capacity, I'm not very keen on the idea of taking blind shots that you probably won't hit. So in other tanks, I would definitely suggest, like, it's better to take the shot than not take it. In this tank, you have to be a bit more careful, though, because honestly, it's so easy to run out of ammo in this vehicle. These shots are fairly high risk, actually, like, they might not hit, so I'm just going to keep that in mind. I'm going to try to get closer to the enemy, but I also don't want to get hit by a 704, so we're going to have to play to our hit points. There's a 50-41 right there. There's no way in hell I'm going to beat him, so I'm just going to use my mobility. I'm going to back off. I'm going to work with this VK. Hopefully the VK points his frontal armor towards the T-50-41. Come on, dude. No, he's not doing that, and that sucks. Okay, now this guy isn't looking at me. I am able to put shots into him. The second he starts to look at me, though, I'm definitely going to back off. Yeah, there's no... Okay, good. He shot. I'm worried about the 704 hitting me, so I'm just going to use this rock for cover for a bit. And I think I'm going to clip again. So, right now they know exactly where I am. I want to be using this vehicle's mobility to its advantage. You can see the RU is still back there. He's shooting heat. What the fuck? Who shot heat? It must be the 54 then. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to focus on trying to clip out these 2 one-shots if I get the chance. However, because of the fact that I'm alone, it's not really going to work out. Okay. So the risk here is them just YOLOing into me. I think the safest way for me to approach this is going to be to get on the hill. I've got a full, well, relatively full HP Type 61 who's coming our way to help us out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Type 61 as a semi sort of scout. That's going to be probably the best thing right now. If he can scout for me and then I can do all the damage, or we can just work together to live, that'd be great. I think it's very likely that this BatChat's just going to rush into our Type 61, so I'm going to want to see if I can keep the Type alive. That's going to be the best thing right now. It looks like our Type isn't the greatest player, though. That sucks. Gonna focus on killing who I can. In a situation like this, you're gonna want to go for the lowest HP possible, because really, they're the easiest to kill. The less guns shooting at you, the better. I've got 2 shells left, so the Type will have to do 1 shot of damage if he wants to live. There's a T-49 behind me. He did shoot, and he missed. So I'm gonna switch to AP. I've got 40 seconds on my reload. Realistically, this game is definitely over. There's no way I'm going to survive this. Hopefully I can just sort of stay in these bushes and see how it goes. Chances are I'm going to get blind fired to hell, so... Yeah, I think what I might try to do is if I can clip in time, I'm going to try to clip out that we'll kill the T-49 and then run towards the north of the map. Hopefully they come up the south, but really, I mean, that's just wishful thinking. I don't think it's actually going to happen. I've got 13 seconds on the reload. Hey, that guy got a Top Gun. Congrats to him. Okay, I need to get going. This is not good. Oh shit, miss. Please miss. No! He tracked me and got my engine. Damn it. Alright, anyways, that is some gameplay. Why does he have 2 marks in his 54? Alrighty, so in the end that was 51,000 credits, 711 XP with a premium account. In the end we did 3,800 damage. I'm gonna upload this replay. I think we did a relatively decent job. Like this vehicle, hopefully I showed the strengths and the weaknesses. You'll notice I switched to APCR the second I sensed the game was actually really close. That's just a personal thing. If I would rather win the game, especially on a test server. Like, who cares about credits? So, yeah, here's my setup for those of you who are curious. This is how I'd suggest setting the thing up if you can afford to run food. If you can't run food, I'd put optics, simply because this thing definitely excels in the vision type game. But, yeah, hopefully this replay was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.